Mayoral Memo with Matthew Dickerson from Dubbo Regional Council.
Now, a man that's getting around a little bit at the moment is the Mayor of Dubbo, Matthew Dickerson. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Kerry. How you going?
I'm extremely well. Now, you've got a sister city relation, as we do. Of course, we still have the sister city relation with Okuma in Japan, and you have also a sister city relationship in Japan as well.
We've got a sister city relationship with Minakamo, and actually, as a result of the amalgamation with Wellington, we've also got one we've inherited with Toyama, and we're working forward with that one. But Minakamo's been a long-standing one with Dubbo. 35 years this year, actually 35 years in a couple of months' time we'll celebrate with Minakamo, so it's been a great relationship. In fact, the Jurian ceremonial tea house in Dubbo, as part of our Shoyo and Japanese Gardens, was constructed in Minakamo and then sent to Dubbo with 5 craftsmen from Minakamo to put together back in Dubbo. That was a gift from Minakamo to Dubbo, so it's been a very good relationship we've had for 35 years with Minakamo.
All right, okay. Now, funding for a crossing, a fair bit of money in this too, by the way.
Yeah, this is one that's been a little bit of controversy around this because there's been some debate on council with some councillors saying we shouldn't have worried about this crossing, we should have just left it as a culvert. But the majority of councillors went ahead and said, no, we'll put a bridge there on Saxa Road. This is the Kumabella crossing over the Mitchell Creek. Now, the culvert that's been there in the past has always been a bit of a troublesome one because you don't get much rain and then Mitchell Creek suddenly rises and then that crossing is either difficult or impossible to cross. It got severely damaged in the 2022 flooding events and we said we're going to have to put a bridge there. So we've gone ahead with that, but we also were trying to seek some money from the federal government, significant sums there, and we just got the announcement at the end of last week, $2.779322 million. Let's call it 2.8 for our numbers. $2.8 million we've received from the federal government for that bridge. The bridge will probably be around about 3.2 million in total, so we're also seeking some top-up funds from the state government, but that's a really good outcome, that one.
My very word. Now, the water, there's been a slight problem with the water in Dubbo.
Well, I don't know if there's been a problem, but there's been some allegations of a problem. There's been some media articles that have been running Dubbo that some people are saying they're getting a skin rash from Dubbo water. Now, we have obviously guidelines, Australian drinking water guidelines that we've got to conform with. We do regular testing of the water that comes out of the water treatment plant to make sure it's all within the guidelines, and we believe it has been. Now, there's been some quotes there from experts in the local media articles talking about a skin rash could be caused by water, but could also be caused by irritations or the environment or something that you might be allergic to. So we've gone out and done some further testing on the actual water of some of these people that said they've got skin rashes. And again, we've found that the water definitely conforms to Australian drinking water guidelines. We're quite comfortable with that. Since the media article, we've had a few more people who have rung up and said, oh no, I've got a skin rash as well. We've gone and tested all of those different ones as well. We can't find any problem with our water in terms of conforming to that Australian drinking water guideline. So we're quite comfortable with that. If people are getting skin rashes, they're probably getting it from somewhere else.
Also, just finally this morning, one of the things that can be very controversial and a certain problem for councils and other people is sale yards.
Sale yards can be a good income earner for the overall community, but for council running sale yards, maybe they're not always so good from a financial perspective. There's a few issues here with our sale yards. We just believe with some new advice we've got from the Office of Local Government and then some legal advice we've sought, we probably need to refine the way that we run our sale yards in terms of the business model, the operating model. And as part of looking at that, Kerry, we said, well, do we need to own sale yards? Is there anything in the Local Government Act that says, as a council, you must own a sale yard? And of course there isn't. So we're also going out in terms of that overall investigation, and we've put an EIA out to anyone that wants to lease the sale yards office, some sort of long-term lease, or even buy the sale yards office. Now, as soon as you talk about selling a council asset, some people will get a little bit stirred up, and there's certainly been some discussion in the community about councils going to sell the sale yards. Well, no decision has been made yet, Kerry. The only decision that's been made is that we'll need to do something, whether it be changing the business model or selling it or leasing it. But at the moment, we're just saying we're inviting companies to say, put an EOI in and tell us how you would run it, how much you would pay for it, how you would lease it, etc. And we'll have to make a decision in the next few months about exactly what we do with that. But certainly there'll be a change. What that change will be, no decision made yet, Kerry.
Thank you, sir, for your time this morning, and you have a good trip. We'll talk when you get back.
Arigato.
There we go.
Mayoral Memo with Matthew Dickinson from Dubbo Regional Council.